Ayan, so pwede nyo nang isara yung mga cameras ninyo. So I hope yung mga kumakain sa labas no or magkakasama ay nakikinig pa rin. So wag nyo lang akong gawing radyo. Ayan, so hindi ko pa tapos na i-compute yung grades nyo for midterms. But sa Lunes, pwede na. Pwede ko nang ipakita sa Lunes. But so far, so good naman yung mga results na nakikita ko. So, congrats in advance sa inyong lahat. Okay, so before we start, minute ba kayo kanina ng subject nyo before itong EDA?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, yung yung mga kasali po sa intrams, may plus points po ba?
Oo, yun yung parang na-memo ata, no? Na-memo ba? Or basta yun? Sinabi ni Dean na bigyan daw ng parang bonus points.
Yes ma'am. Kasali po kasi ako, tapos si Vic, ma'am.
May listahan naman ata, no? May listahan ba kayo ng mga participations niyo?
Ma'am, magsasend na lang kami mamaya sa set A and B, ma'am, sa mga sumali sa intrams po.
Sige.
Thank you, ma'am.
So, siguro, saan ka ba pwedeng ilagay? Siguro, tanungin ko na lang sila Ma'am Tere, ganun kung saan nila nilagay para pare-pareho kami. Nasabi na ba ni Ma'am Tere kung saan niya ilalagay or hindi?
Ma'am, wala pa naman, ma'am, kasi katatapos lang ng midterms namin kanina.
Midterm sa Checal?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we're down to 2 last topics no before tayo mag-start sa hypothesis testing. So ngayon, ang i-discuss muna natin ay random variables and probability distributions. So overview lang ng i-discuss natin today. So first one will be the definition ng random variables. Then second, we'll have an introduction to probability distribution. Then third one, we have the probability distribution ng discrete random variables. And if may time pa tayo, then we can continue up to the continuous random variables. So hanggang 7 pala tayo today. Okay, so first one, what is random variable? So pakibasa si Zea Marinas kung ano ang random variable.
Random variable whose values are determined by chance. A function that associates a real number with each element in the sample space. A random variable is denoted with capital letters, most often used X, Y, Z, and all possible values are denoted by small letters. Examples for random variable. The specified value of the random variable is unknown until the experimental outcome is observed.
Okay, so thank you. So sabi niya, ang random variable daw is a variable whose values are determined by chance. Ibig sabihin, yung random variable natin, nakukuha natin siya from the outcome of an experiment. Kasi kung maalala nyo, yung definition natin ng experiment under probability is that yun yung process, di ba? Na nagre-result in an outcome na hindi natin kayang i-predict with 100% certainty yung kanyang outcome. So, yun yung ating random variable. And a more formal definition ng random variable is that siya yung function that associates a real number with each element in the sample space. So, dito sa figure natin sa right, we have our sample space and merong mga elements, yan yung mga dots or circles. Then, ang ginagawa ng random variable is that siya yung nag-a-associate ng mga elements na yan in the real number line. So, if hindi nyo maalala, yung real number line ay yung number line kung saan nyo makikita sila 1, -1, 0, ganun. So, yun yung function ng ating random variable. And take note na dinedenote natin si random variable with capital letters. And yung mga possible values naman ay small letters. So, for example, magro-roll tayo ng isang die. So, yun yung ating experiment. So, rolling a die, hindi natin alam yung outcomes niya with 100% certainty. Or outcome lang since iisa lang naman yung mag-a-appear on top, di ba? So, ilalet natin ngayon si x. So, we will let random variable x as the number that appears on the top face, sabihin na lang natin, top face of the die. So, yan yung ating random variable. And ano yung mga possible values ni x from our experiment? It can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Diba? So, yun yung mga pwedeng ma-take na values ni x. So, yung x natin can take on the values x. And yung maliit na x na yan, it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Malalaman lang natin si x. Ayan, so sabi niya, the specified value of the random variable is unknown until the experimental outcome is observed. So, malalaman lang natin yung value ng x if nangyari na yung experiment and ma-observe natin kung ano yung outcome. So, kunwari, 3 yung nag-appear doon sa top face ng ating die, then our random variable x takes on the value 3. Okay, so here are few examples pa ng ating random variable. And so we have big letter X, and we're letting it be the number of boys out of 100 babies born in a clinic. So, hindi natin alam with 100% certainty kung ilan yung boys na maboborn dito sa clinic na yan. So, kunwari, 30 yung na-observe nating boys, then our random variable x could take up the value 30. Then, we also have dalawa pang examples. We have also the random variable y is equal to the weight of babies at birth. So, yung ating y can assume values from 800 to 600 grams. Then, another one, we also have c. It is the number of items found defective in a sample of 10. So, yung values ng z natin could take up the values 0, 1 to 10. Okay, and just like our variables, no, pwede natin i-classify yung ating random variables into two, which is si discrete and continuous. So, parehas lang yung concept niya with the discrete and continuous variables natin last time. So, for discrete random variables, these are your counting random variables. So it may take only distinct, usually integer values. So yung mga 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so mga ganun lang sa discrete. Few examples pa, ayan, we also have the outcome of a roll of a die, the number of floods per year, the number of transmitted bits. So yan yung mga counting numbers or nabibilang. While for continuous, ito yung mostly may decimals. They take values within a continuum of values. So compared with our discrete random variable, ito naman nami-measure rather than counted. So for example, i-measure mo yung length ng table. So kunwari ang nakuha mo is 1 meter. 1.005 meters. So yun, mostly may mga decimals. Itong ating continuous random variable. Another example yan, we also have the average of all scores on a test, length of a rod, electrical current, temperature, voltage, and weight. Okay, so move on naman tayo sa probability distribution. So in our last topics, yung kinukuha natin ay yung probability ng single event, di ba? But now, titignan natin yung kabuuan ng probability ng lahat ng outcomes. And ma-represent natin sila through probability distribution. So, ano nga ba ang probability distribution? So, pakibasa, Laika Talosig.
A distribution of the probabilities associated with each of the possible values of a random variable. A specification in the form of a table, graph, or a function.
Ayan. Ay, sorry. Okay, so let's have an example ng probability distribution, no? So ang ating example na experiment ay pagro-roll ng single die. And we have here the 6 possible outcomes na pwede nating makuha. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, alam natin na yung probability ng each of these outcomes ay 1/6. So for 1, ang probability niya ay 1/6. For 2, we have 1/6. For 3, we have 1/6. And if we have this outcome and yung kanilang corresponding probability, that is already your probability distribution. So, ganun lang kasimple. I-list mo lang lahat ng outcomes, then yung kanilang probability, then that will be your probability distribution na. Then we can present our probability distribution, no? Sabi niya dito, it could be a table, graph, or a function. So, paano kapag table? So, we have here a tabular representation. So, sa first row natin, ililist lang natin lahat ng outcomes. So, dito, sa pagro-roll natin ng single die, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And sa second row niya is the probability of X, or yung ating outcome. So, we have 1, 6, 1, 6, 1, 6, 1, 6, 1, 6. Then, we can also represent it through a graph. Dito sa right side, we have a probability histogram. So, sa x-axis ng ating histogram, we have the outcomes. Ayan, we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And sa y-axis, yung kanilang probability. So, from 0 to 1. So, ang ginawa niya lang, for the 1 na outcome, ang probability niya ay 1/6. So, ano ba ang decimal ng 1/6? Anong decimal value niya? Anyone na may calculator?
0.70.
And 0.17, no? So, kapag titignan natin yan sa ating plot, so nandito si 0.17. Then, nag-draw lang siya, no, ng mga pins for each outcome. Since pare-parehas naman silang 0.17, pare-parehas lang sila ng height. Itong mga pins natin or rectangles. Okay, so nakita na natin kung paano natin pwedeng i-present si probability distribution in the form of a table, a graph. But how about in the form of a function? So, meron tayong tatlong types ng functions na pwede nating gamitin to represent our probability distribution. We have the PMF, we have the PDF, and we have the CDF. So, for PMF, yan yung ating probability mass function. So, kinakarakterize niya yung ating probability distribution of a discrete random variable. Okay, so take note, for discrete random variable, itong si ating PMF, while for PDF, it is for continuous random variable. And ito namang CDF natin dito sa pangatlo, ay pwede natin gamitin in both discrete and continuous random variable. Okay, so actually parehas lang yung concept nitong cumulative distribution function sa ating cumulative frequency, kung maalala nyo pa. Kaya yung kanyang highest point dito is actually 1. Kasi 1 yung ating maximum value for probability, di ba? Kaya yung ating highest na peak for cumulative distribution function ay 1. Okay, so na-discuss na natin yung mga iba't ibang methods to represent our probability distribution. We have here naman yung iba't ibang types ng probability distribution. So they are divided into two main types. So meron tayo under discrete and we also have under continuous. So it will take time, no, kapag i-discuss natin ng lahat ng yan. So later on, pipiliin lang natin yung pinaka-applicable talaga in real life or mas na-encounter natin in real life na probability distribution. Okay, for now, mag-focus muna tayo sa probability distribution ng discrete random variable. Okay, so for this one, pakibasa Gerardel Organay.
The probability distribution for a discrete random variable x is a table, graph, or formula that gives the probability of observing each value of x. The probability that the random variable of x takes on the value of x is denoted by t dx plus x. Example, the number of flows in a 1
Wag
inch.
mo na. Ayan, thank you. So, ganito lang kasimple, no? Yung probability distribution ni discrete random variable. So, i-represent lang natin siya in the notation probability ng bawat outcomes. So if we have a list ng ating outcomes and yung kanilang probabilities, then it is already a probability distribution ng discrete random variable. Ayan, so let's have an example dito sa baba. So the number of flaws in a 1-inch length of copper wire manufactured by a certain process varies from wire to wire. So meron daw tayong company na nagpro-produce ng copper wire which is dapat 1 inch. 1 inch length. And since it's in the real world, no? So hindi naman ideal, ibig sabihin may mga deficiencies or flaws or defects yung na-produce nila ang copper wire. And those defects or flaws varies from wire to wire. So overall, 48% ng mga wires na na-produce nila have no flaws. Then 39% have one flaw, then 12% have two flaws, and 1% have three flaws. So ilalet natin yung random variable x be the number of flaws in a randomly selected piece of wire. Then ayan, nilista niya na yung kanilang probability or yung kanyang probability distribution. So kapag binasa natin tong first one, the probability that the random variable x takes on the value 0 is equal to 0.48. Or in much common terms, we have the probability na yung ating number of flaws in a randomly selected piece of wire ay 0 is 0.48. Then kapag probability naman na ang x will take the value 1 ay 0.39. Kapag 2 naman, we have 0.12. And kapag 3, we have 0.01. And so now that you have the corresponding probabilities, now we can graph this in hindi lang histogram, no? Meron pa tayong isang way para i-present this graphically. So parehas lang dun sa ating probability histogram, our x-axis will be the outcomes. So we have 0, 1, 2, and 3. Then sa y-axis naman ay yung kanilang mga probabilities. So syempre yung pinakamataas ay si 1, then yung pinakamababa ay 0. So since medyo maliliit yung kanilang mga probabilities or magkakatag. So 0.5, 0.25. Ayan. So aside from probability histogram, pwede lang tayo mag-draw ng line. So for x is equal to 0, yung probability niya ay 0.48. So pwedeng dot muna yung unahin natin, then extend na lang up to the 0. Then for the probability na our random variable x takes on the value 1 is 0.39. So medyo mas mababa siya. Then for probability na the random variable x takes on the value 2 ay 0.12. Yan. Then for 3, we have 0.01. Hindi na nakita yung... Pero ganyan. Pwede na to na representation ng ating probability distribution. Pero kapag histogram naman yan, pwede lang tayo mag-draw ng mga rectangles of equal size. So, ganyan naman yung kanyang probability histogram for this probability distribution. Okay, so how about yung function naman to represent the probability distribution of discrete random variable? So, meron tayong tinatawag na probability mass function. So, dito na papasok si PMF natin. So, take note for discrete random variable lang siya. So, our PMF specifies the probability that a random variable is equal to a given value. So, paano natin makukuha yung function ng probability distribution? It's simple, no? Isusulat mo lang f of x is equal to the probability ng ating certain outcome or specific outcome. So, dapat nakalagay lahat dito sa right side ng ating f of x, lahat ng probability ng ating possible outcomes. And merong dalawang properties no, na dapat masatisfy ni PMF para ma-qualify siya as a discrete random variable na probability mass function. So, dapat, una, f of x should be greater than or equal to 0. So, dapat yung right side ng f of x natin, which is yung probabilities ng lahat ng outcomes, dapat hindi negative. Okay? Kasi dapat greater than or equal to 0 dapat. Then, pangalawa, the summation of f of x should be equal to 1. So, ang ibig sabihin niyan, if you add up all probabilities na nasa right side ng ating f of x, dapat equal to 1 silang lahat. Okay, so familiar ba itong dalawang properties sa inyo? Parang ano lang yan, di ba? Yung ating axioms of probability. So, parang ganun lang siya. So, para mas maintindihan natin paano gumawa ng probability mass function, let's have an example. Okay, so for this one, pakibasa by Lani Amparo.
Assume that a random variable x is equal to outcome of a single roll of a die. The probability distribution is tabulated below. The probability mass function PMF is...
Ayan, thank you. So meron daw tayong random variable x, which is yung ating outcome ng single roll of a die. And nakatabulate na yung kanyang probability distribution dito sa baba. So, in the first row, we have all possible values of x. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the second row naman is yung ating probability na yung ating random variable x, which is yung outcome ng single roll of a die, is equal to x, which is itong si 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, yung probability ng corresponding outcomes ay mga puro 1, 6. Then, ang gusto niyang makuha, yung probability mass function. So, gagawa tayo ng function that represents this probability distribution. So, balik tayo kanina. So, ang PMF is just f of x is equal to, so probability lang ng ating mga outcomes. So, for this example, yung ating probability mass function ay, we have f of x is equal to, so ano yung probability na ilalagay natin dito sa right side? Any guesses? So, ang ilalagay natin dito ay 1, 6. Since yan lang naman yung ating probability. Then, we also have to write kung kaninong value ng x si probability na 1/6. So, pwede nating ilagay na 1/6 if x is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so yan na yung ating PMF. Ganyan lang kasimple. Okay, but we can also add yung mga values that are not or hindi kasama dito sa ating 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, pwede natin sabihin na otherwise. So, otherwise, if hindi 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then 0 ang probability. Then we can add a brace dito sa kanyang left side. Okay, so optional lang yung 0 kung otherwise. Okay, pwede ng f of x is equal to 1/6 if x is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, okay na yung ganun. So, it's already a probability mass function. Okay, so let's have another example. For this one, pakibasa, Kiza Castillo.
A shipment of 7 television sets contains 2 defective sets. A hotel makes a random purchase of 3 of the sets. If X is the number of defective sets purchased by the hotel, find the probability distribution of X. Express the results graphically as a probability histogram.
Ayan, so meron daw tayong 7 television sets. And among those 7, 2 ang defective. Ngayon, merong hotel na bibili ng 3 set from those 7 television sets. So, if yung ating random variable x is the number of defective sets purchased by the hotel, find the probability distribution of x. Then, we need to express itong si probability distribution as a probability histogram. So, paano kaya yan? Ang first na dapat na tignan nyo, no, is ano yung ating random variable. So, ang ating random variable ay if x is the number of defective sets purchased by the hotel. So, from this statement alone, makukuha na natin lahat ng possible outcomes or values ni random variable x. So, ano yung mga possible values ni x? Ano yung mga possible values if yung x natin ay yung number of defective sets purchased by the hotel?
0, 1, 2 po.
Ayan. So, since we have 2 defective sets, no, out of those 7 na pagpipilian natin, pwedeng 0. So, wala tayong defective set na mabibili. Or si hotel, hindi tayo. Sorry, nasasabak. So, pwede rin 1. So, 1 defective set. Then, we can also have 2 defective sets. Okay, so yan yung mga possible values ni x. Now, para makompleto yung ating probability distribution, we need to find their probability. So, siguro mas maayos to kapag i-draft natin siya in tabular form. So, in tabular form, we have all possible values of x. So, we have 0, 1, and 2. Then, sa baba ay yung kanyang probability. So, yung probability that our random variable x, that malaki siya, takes on the value x, ay kailangan natin kunin para makompleto yung ating probability distribution. Okay, so ano yung probability na 0 yung makuha nating defective sets? So, lahat ng tatlong mapapurchase natin ay hindi defective. Okay, so isa-isahin natin. So, yung probability na yung ating random variable x ay 0, this means na out of those 3 na pinurchase natin doon sa 7 television sets, wala tayong napiling defective set. So, ano kaya yung probability niyan? So, remember yung ating formula for probability na events or yung outcomes natin dun sa event all over the sample space. So, yun lang yung gagamitin nyo, no? So, ang gagawin natin for denominator, out of those 7 television sets, pipili tayo ng tatlo or magpa-purchase tayo ng tatlo. So, that is 7C3. Okay, then sa taas ay yung event. And ano ba yung event natin na 0 daw yung mapapurchase natin na defective dun sa tatlong bibilhin natin. So, ano kaya yung ating numerator?
5C3 po.
Ayan, 5C3. So, bakit 5? Kasi we have 2 defective sets. And ang sabi niya, if we have 0 na number of defective sets na na-purchase, then lahat ng na-purchase natin ay non-defective or not defective. So, 7 minus 2, we have 5 non-defective sets. And from those 5, tatlo yung ipapurchase natin. So, we have 5C3. Okay, so anong makukuha nating probability dito? Paki-compute.
29, ma'am.
Mas maganda or mas accurate no kapag i-express natin sila in fraction. So, anong nakuha niyo? That is in fraction
2/7.
and 2/7. Okay, so how about yung pangalawa naman na value ng x which is 1? So ano naman yung probability na isa daw yung kuha natin na defective dun sa tatlong mabibili natin? So just like dito sa taas, parehas lang sila ng denominator. Out of those 7 na television sets, tatlo yung bibilhin ng hotel. So how about yung numerator natin? Dapat daw isa lang yung defect out of those 3.
Five, C1. 5C1. 5C2 tapos times 2C1.
Ayan, so we have, so since gusto natin isa yung defective, di ba? And dalawa yung pagpipilian natin. So we have 2C1 for or the defective, then kailangan pa natin ng dalawa, no? Since tatlo ang bibilhin ni hotel, kailangan pa natin ng dalawa, which are non-defective. So, saan natin kukunin yun? Sa mga hindi defective. So, 7 minus 2, we have 5. And from those 5, dalawa ang kailangan natin. So, we have 5C2. So, ano na yung probability niyan?
4/7.
Ayan, so we have 4/7. And how about itong ating last possible value of x na 2? So, same with the other two, we have 7C3 sa denominator. How about sa taas? Dapat dalawa yung defective dun sa tatlong bibili ng hotel.
C2 po, saka 5C1.
Ayan, so we have 2C2. So, dalawang defective sets. Then, may natitira pang isa, which is kukunin natin sa non-defective sets, which is 5C1. Okay, so ano naman yung makukompute nating probability for this one?
One over 7.
Ayan, so we have 1/7. Ayan, so nakakonstruct na tayo ng probability distribution in the form of a table. So, kapag histogram naman, magdraw ka lang din ng parang sa kanina. So, for x-axis ay all possible values of x. So, we have 0, 1, 2, and yung probabilities natin sa right. So, sabihin na lang natin 1/7, 2/7, 3/7, then 4/7. Okay, so since probability histogram yan, so for 1, that is 27. Ay, for 0 pa. 0, that is 27. Then 1 ay 47. Then for 2 ay 17. Ayan, so yan yung ating probability histogram. So, ito yung ating sagot naman for example 2. Okay, so let's have our last example for probability distribution ng discrete random variable. Okay, so dito naman, pakibasa. May nakita ako. Silvana Pumarada.
Example 3. Determine the value C so that each of the following functions can serve as a probability distribution of the discrete random variable x. F of x is cx squared for x is equals to 1, 2, 3. And then letter B, f of x is equals to c x squared plus 4 for x 0, 1, 2, 3. Is equals to 0.
Ayan, thank you. So, baliktad naman yung nangyari dito, no? Binigyan niya tayo ng f of x or the PMF or the probability mass function. So, yung PMF na binigay niya, hindi kompleto. Meron tayong C or the constant. So, hahanapin daw natin yung value ng C such that ma-qualify itong functions na to as PMF or probability mass function. So kung naalala nyo kanina, yung dalawang properties na dapat masatisfy ng isang PMF, una, dapat yung f of x natin ay greater than or equal to 0. Then, pangalawa, dapat daw yung sum ng lahat ng f of x natin ay equal to 1. Okay, so for letter A, ang f of x daw natin ay cx squared for x is equal to 1, 2, 3. So, ang gagamitin nating property ay yung dapat yung summation ng lahat ng f of x natin ay equal to 1. So, summation of f of x should be equal to 1. And ano yung ating function na binigay? So, ang function na binigay ay cx squared. Then, the values of x is from 1 to 3. So, isa-sum down natin yung cx squared where x is the value from 1 to 3. So, dapat equal to 1 yan. So, katulad ng ginagawa nyo, no, pag nag-i-integrate kayo, nilalabas nyo yung constant sa labas, we can also do that here. So, we have summation ng x squared from the values of x now 1 to 3. Okay, so isa-substitute na natin yung mga values ng x natin. So, 1 is equal to c times the summation of x squared. So, kapag 1 yung isa-substitute natin sa x natin, ano? Isa-substitute mo lang yung 1 dito sa x squared, we have 1. Then, since summation, no, i-add natin yung pangalawa. So, how about kapag 2? So, 2 squared, that is 4. Then, kapag 3 naman, we have 3 squared, which is 9. Okay, so, ang sum ng lahat ng yan ay 14. So, 1 is equal to 14c. So, para makuha natin yung value ng c, kailangan natin i-isolate si c. So, now we have c is equal to 1 over 40. Okay, then we can now substitute no, yung ating value ng constant in our PMF. So, for letter A, ang f of x na natin ay 114 x squared for x is equal to 1, 2, 3. Okay, so yan na yung ating PMF. Now, how about kay letter B? So, same dito kay letter A, dapat daw yung summation ng ating f of x ay equal to 1. And ang ating f of x ay c times x squared plus 4. Then, ang values ng x ay from 0 to 3. Okay, then ilalabas natin yung constant. Yan, then isa-substitute na natin yung values ng x. So, c times, kapag 0 yung ating x, ano yung ating f of x?
Four.
4. How about kapag 1?
5, ma'am.
Kapag 2, how about kapag 3? 33, diba? So, is equal to 1. So we have 30C is equal to 1. So ang value ng C natin ay 1 over 30. Okay, so we can now substitute that sa ating PMF. So ang ating function na ay 1 over 30 x squared plus 4 for x is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so far, nakakasunod naman tayo? Or hindi? If nandito pa kayo, no, paki-click na lang yung react button. Ayan, so let's move on sa ating pangalawang function, which is the cumulative distribution function. But before that, ito yung magiging homework nyo, no, to be passed on Monday. So, by pair to. So, siguro, dagdagan na rin natin tabular form and probability histogram. Okay, so move on naman tayo sa cumulative distribution function or si CDF. Remember yung slide natin kanina? That our CDF, pwede natin gamitin yan for discrete and continuous. And magkaiba ang CDF ng discrete and continuous random variable. So, dito naman sa CDF, in-specify niya the probability that a random variable is less than or equal to a given value. Okay, so yung CDF daw natin of a random variable x is the function f of x is equal to the probability that a random variable takes on the values that are less than or equal to x. So, take note, less than or equal sa ating x. Kanina sa PDF, x is equal to x lang din. So, random variable x takes on the value that is equal to x. Pero dito sa CDF, it's less than or equal to x. Okay, so paano natin yan kukunin si f of x? So, isasummation lang natin yung f of x or the probabilities ng lahat ng possible values ng x that are less than or equal to x. For x should be greater than negative infinity and less than positive infinity. Okay, so let's have an example, no, para mas magets natin paano tayo gagawa ng CDF or cumulative distribution function. Okay, so dito naman, pakibasa Daphne Gorospe.
The probability distribution of X, the number of imperfections per 10 liters of a synthetic fiber in continuous rolls of uniform width is given by X 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, f of X 0, 0.41, 0.37, 0.16, 0.05, 0.01. Construct a cumulative distribution function of X.
Ayan, so meron daw tayong random variable x, no, which is yung number of imperfections per 10 meters ng synthetic fiber in continuous rolls of uniform width. So, ayan, pwedeng 0 yung imperfections, or 1, 2, 3, or 4. And dito sa baba niya, meron silang corresponding probabilities. So, siya si f of x. So, ang gusto niyang mangyari, mag-construct daw tayo ng cumulative distribution function of x. So, actually, pwede nating ituloy itong table, no, na ginawa niya. So, for the third row, ay, i-copy ko na lang. So, for the third row naman, malaking F naman yung gagamitin natin for the CTF. So, ang f of x natin dito, kapag 0 ay, or kapag ang x natin ay greater than or equal to 0 but less than 1, ang kanyang probability ay 0.41 lang din. Okay, then how about kapag 1 na? So, like the cumulative frequency before, i-add up lang natin itong probabilities. So, under 1 naman, i-add lang natin si 0.37. So, 0.41 plus 0.37. We have 0.70. Then, how about sa susunod, we have plus 0.16, so that is 0.94. Then, for 3, we have 0.99. Then, 0.99 plus 0.01, we have 1. Okay, but itong ginawa natin is in the form of a table. Ang gusto niya ay cumulative distribution function. So, kailangan natin gumawa ng function that will represent this probability distribution of x. So, paano natin yan gagawan ng function? So, sabi niya, ang CDF ay f of x is equal to, so ililist natin lahat ng probabilities and probabilities ng lahat ng possible values of x that are less than or equal to x. Okay, so first one ay kay 0. So, isusulat natin f of x is equal to so since ang first natin ay 0, so for x is less than 0, so ano yung probability niyan kapag yung x natin ay less than 0? Based sa na-construct nating probability distribution. Kapag ang value ng x natin ay less than 0, tignan nyo nga sa table